5 key life skills that millennials need to learn. The millennial generation is known for being diverse and highly educated, probably overeducated, yet they seem clueless when it comes to financial knowledge. How is it possible that with all this prestigious education, they don't know the first thing about paying off debt, investing, or balancing checkbooks? Actually, research has shown that the answer might be that millennials think that they are going to inherit wealth and therefore they don't need basic financial skills. I will be the first to say this. That is the worst financial plan in history, and we need to learn how to manage money. In my opinion, the basic reason why millennials lack basic financial skills is because of their inability to see the bigger picture. Saving money for retirement and living off a budget is it of interest to a generation that likes to live in the moment than plan for their financial future. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 key financial skills that millennials need to learn to take control over their money matters. These are basic financial skills that I think millennials lack now. Skill number 1, learn how to balance a checkbook, or at least track their spending. Even though technological progression has made it easier than ever to track our finances, the millennial generation sadly have no idea of how to do this. They think that checking their bank balance and making sure there is enough money in there is good financial tracking, and most have absolutely no idea how to balance a checkbook. The older generations might laugh, but this is absolutely true. I can't tell you how many people tell me they track their finances. When I press for how they do so, I frequently get the same answer, similar to, well, I check my bank balance just to make sure there's enough money in there until the next payday to pay my bills. This means you are living the rot of paycheck to paycheck. In fact, it is not even close to good financial tracking. While it is true that most of us don't use checks often, I think we miss out the key concepts by swapping a card instead of writing a check. When you swap a card, transaction instantly takes place. You go online, check your bank balance, and see the transaction has already taken place. The bank does all the record keeping for you. However, when you write a check, the person whom you just wrote a check to might not deposit it instantly. Therefore, the transaction does not take place right away. When you check your bank balance, you have to make a mental note that you have an outstanding check that hasn't been taken out of your bank account yet. Consequently, your bank balance is not your true balance. This forces you to do record keeping, and that's one thing that millennials lack today: the ability to keep track of their finances. So how do we track our finances? In order to be financially successful, you need to live below your means. If you want to be very financially successful, you need to live well below your means. In order to do so, you need a financial plan, and I'll discuss this in subsequent videos. At least make sure you have a system in place to track what comes into your account every month and what goes out every month, so you know you are living below your means and spending less than you make. Skill number 2, learn when to tell yourself no. Now let me ask you, how do you define affordability? Do you think how much down and how much payment per month? Or rather, do you think how much in total and can I pay for that today? I'm guessing you probably understand that if you're making 50k a year, you cannot afford a Ferrari. However, our culture makes us believe that you can afford every other thing else. Too often, we look at others to set our standards of affordability. We may think, so and so next door just bought a brand new Tesla, and she is a stay-at-home mom. So since both me and my husband are hardworking, at least we can also afford a new Tesla. Instead of taking a true look at your finances, you base your financial decisions off other people. Then we use debt to acquire the new Tesla. Why? Because we've been taught that we deserve it and we can afford it if we can afford the monthly payment. The truth is, you can only afford what you can pay for cash right now. Yes, I don't know, they don't teach that in school. If we are being honest, how well has what they taught us in school done for us when it comes to our finances? Are you thousands of dollars in debt? Do you have an emergency fund? Are you aware how much money you need to save to sustain your life in your retirement? Do you even know how much money you need for retirement? Note this, debt is not a factor in determining affordability. If you have defined your ability to afford something in terms of monthly payments, you need to throw that idea out of the window and cling on to some new ones. Repeat after me: I can afford what I can pay cash for now. Yes, that includes vehicles, furniture, vacations, and anything else you are trying to justify financially. besides a house. Debt is a product, not a tool. If you have bought into the idea that debt is a tool, it's time to debunk that myth right now and break the habit of using debt. Skill number 3, get a financial plan. Millennials know they need to save for retirement, but they see it as far off the future goal and doesn't require action until 20 years down the road. In high school, we learn what Pythagorean's theorem is, but we don't learn how much money we need to save per month in order to enjoy retirement in dignity. No wonder most millennials can't balance a checkbook. Now, I don't think not learning these things in high school is a cop-out for not actually doing them. Your life is up to you. If you want to manage your money better, save more, invest more, and have tools available to you to do so. Everything I know about personal financing, I learned from somebody else, not sitting in a classroom for 8 hours a day. According to a Bankrate survey, 61% of people don't even know how much money they need to save now for their retirement, including nearly 3/5 of every adult generation over 37. What is even worse, a federal report on economic well-being of households indicates that fewer than 2 out of 5 non-retirees feel as if their retirement is on track. For millennials specifically, 69% of them don't even know how much money they will need to live off in their retirement. Part of this is because most of these people believe that retirement is something in the future and not to be worried about now. So it's hard to be self-disciplined now to plan for and save for it, something that won't be a reality at least for the next 40 years. However, not saving now is one of the most detrimental things that you can do for your financial planning or do to your financial situation. If you think that doesn't matter right now and that you can save later, you don't understand the power of compound interest. We need to learn how to plan for our future. Developing a financial plan doesn't have to be complicated. Even though we all think we might know a thing or two about personal financing, I know there are people out there who know better than we do. For this reason, I have a financial advisor. I don't have time to figure out which mutual funds are best for me to invest in now and manage my portfolio. So I hire someone else to do that. Someone who I trust and someone who takes time to listen to my financial goals and ensure that I'll be able to reach them. My job is to know how much I can invest per month and ensure there's money available to do so. How do I make sure there's money there at the end of every month? I plan every single dollar of my estimated income for the coming month on paper before the month begins and use that paper as my guide throughout the month. In other words, I budget. Skill number 4, learn to accumulate savings. Millennials are twice as likely to rack up debt than to accumulate savings. Yes, you heard that right. We are twice as likely to go into debt than to accumulate savings. The sad truth is, about more than half of millennials spend more on restaurant food than they contribute towards their own savings. Having a saving, and this is separate from investing, is your best protection against any financial disaster. We need to learn to develop an emergency fund as millennials. I call my savings account my emergency fund. I do this because that's exactly what it is, a savings for any emergencies. Otherwise, this account is not touched. A savings account should be used for such things as a period of during unemployment or financial hardships such as unexpected medical bills, a car breakdown, etc. It should be used for necessities only. This is a financial cushion. Skill number 5, delaying gratification. It is super trendy right now to spend a ton of money that you don't even have. Millennials are buying their dream home as their first home. Over 53% of millennials will go into credit card debts just to attend a wedding. Millennials are spending over $3,000 on an engagement ring. The reason many millennials are broke is that they are making financial decisions out of order because they don't understand or don't even accept the concept of delaying gratification. If you think you don't fall into this broke category because that's for people who are going couch to couch, struggling to buy food, you have the wrong definition of broke. If your household debt is more than the cash and assets you have at hand, you are by definition broke. Statistics show that millennials spend more than any other generation on convenience like coffee, transportation, food services, and dining out. The millennial generation is likely to spend more money on traveling, dining, and fitness than to save for retirement. My advice would be to learn to sacrifice now. Pay the price today so you can afford to pay any price tomorrow. I understand the desire to live while you are young. Travel and find yourself. However, to what extent and at what price? The price of your financial future. If you find a purpose in your job, enjoy it. Then it is easier to delay gratification and save your travel plans for the future when you can actually afford it. On the final note, the lack of basic financial knowledge among this generation is concerning. Considering you can graduate a high school without knowing how to balance a checkbook, create a simple budget, or understand the power of compound interest. It should really not come as a surprise. However, now more than ever, there are resources available to anyone who wishes to better their financial situation, including my channel for starters. The 5 key financial skills that I have listed are vital for your financial success. Don't let your children grow up without knowing them, and don't skate through life without knowing them. Until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. And if you got value out of this video, please kindly click the subscribe button to join us on this journey. And remember to click the like button so others too can also find this video. And don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section and some of the skills that you think as millennial generation we need to learn to better our financial situation. Thank you.